Welcome to Takie Buty podcast. I'm
Episode
Malgosia.
three. Episode
Episode,
three.
well, here's the issue with that. I started working on episode one and I wanted to have them side by side, and I can't find episode two. So I don't know whether I saved it to a different place or I forgot to record.
Okay.
So I know this one is recorded because when I started the recording, it said recording in progress. So I know
It's
it's recorded.
it's my screen says it too.
Yeah.
Well,
I didn't realize you could pause and stop the recording. Okay. You guys our audience is going to learn while we learn how to do podcasting and recording videos.
what did we talk
Lesson
about last time, though? It was
I
such
don't
a good
know.
talk.
We did, and we can think back at some point, but I really thought maybe talking
that's what
about
I'm taking
baseball was
notes.
the right thing to do
Me taking
today.
notes is what I have to do. That's going to be my job today
What's that?
Okay. Big-
because we're going to go back and say, what did we talk about last week?
Okay. Just
Do you
in
see my
case.
name? Do you see my name?
Not
Stu's
not
because he's
agenda.
Jeff is agenda, so I'm not
Oh, I
agenda.
am. Oh my gosh. Agenda.
I'm gonna stick with Małgosia.
Well, I'm not agenda because Jeff is agenda. You
That's
don't like that?
crazy.
Oh, that was pretty good.
That is funny.
I'm gonna be
I didn't even
Peralta.
notice
How
that.
about that? I'll be Peralta. Oh, I muted myself.
Okay. Okay to talk about baseball today?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know. Do we want to?
Yes, I think we do. Um, so growing up in Chicago, for anyone who doesn't know, there are two Major League Baseball teams, the Chicago White Sox on the south side, and the Chicago Cubs on the north side. And for the most part, um, people are fans of the team around where they live. But we grew up what might technically be considered the outskirts of the South Side, but we did not grow up White Sox fans. We grew up Chicago
Know
Cubs
why?
fans.
I don't know why that is. Why did
So
Tata
he,
like the
so here's my uh theory is,
So we
you
like the
know,
Cubs because our dad liked the Cubs.
right,
So he came
right.
from Poland, he loved the Cubs, and we just became Cubs fans. We never watched a Sox game growing up. So
But I also this is what I think. I don't know if the Sox were on TV much back then. The Chicago Cubs were on WGN, Channel 9 in Chicago. And their games were 1:20 start times. And I remember growing up, coming home from grade school and high school. And what you would do is you'd go into the house, maybe grab a little snack and sit in front of the TV to catch up with the Cubs and find out what the score is. Um, and then decide, do I want to stay and watch the whole game or am I going to do something else? And so I think having the Cubs on WGN was the reason we grew up as Cubs fans instead of White Sox fans.
well, and I also think we were all daddy's girls. So I mean, I think like our dad, he had us later in his life. So I think like everything was devoted to us. So we wanted to hang with our dad. And he was a very soft-spoken guy. I remember him as soft-spoken. I don't know if you remember him
Hmm.
differently. So the only
Hmm.
time like you really could bond with him was over certain things. And I think the baseball was one of them. We got to sit there and hang out with our dad, which was
Right.
cool. But yeah, we became very sports related girls, I think. I think because out of the people that I know, like people in my work sometimes think I'm crazy about how much I know about sports and how much I am like devoted to things. So yeah, I don't think I knew the Sox were around until became like a teenager and like you heard the rivalries and stuff. But growing up, I just thought it was Chicago only had the Cubs. I
Oh,
remember we went to a
really?
Cubs game. Yeah, we went to a Cubs game. Remember
We
we
did go to a Cubs game once, and thinking back, really spent a lot of time thinking about this. I thought for our parents, that must have been a really brave thing to do,
Mhm.
because for our mom, our mom was the driver in the family. Our dad never drove, and for our mom, it was driving into the city, finding a parking spot. And our dad was a terrible navigator.
Yes.
Trusting in the fact that you were parking in somebody's backyard and your car was tied in because there were, the parking backyard had space for 5 cars, but there were 10 cars in there, right? Because they were just bumper to bumper. And then having tickets and going to the game, I don't know, it was um I didn't think of this as a kid there. All I thought about when I was there was the magic of Chicago, the magic of Wrigley Field, the magic of seeing that first live baseball game. I
Right,
there's
right.
there's some I mean I love watching baseball on TV. And to the point where I now have MLB.com because if if we're cooking
Ding.
dinner, yeah, if we're cooking dinner, we're going to be watching baseball spring, summer, and fall. But um, there's nothing like walking into a stadium or a
Right.
ballpark
Yeah.
and seeing what it's like. And I don't know, I thought it was magic.
I agree. I agree. And then growing up, a lot of well, our closest friends were also Cubs fans. So it's kind of fun when we got older, we no longer needed our parents to take us places. We were able to then, oh, we got another home. Oh no, I think we got a home run. But then we were able to, oh no, double, sorry, double. I don't know how, oh no, home run,
How'd they
sorry.
score the other run?
I think Bush hit a home run.
Oh,
So Bush hit a home run, and then now Ian Happ hit a home run. Um, but when we were old enough, we were able to take the South Shore in, and then took the L, and then we ended up in Wrigley Field. I remember a couple of times we thought we were so cool, and we scalped some tickets, and we sat in the highest seats possible, like we were in the
in the
corner
corner of the ballpark.
of Wrigley Field and stuff. So the funny thing is, Margie, who is married to Jeff, Jeff's a big Brewers fan. So growing up, the Brewers weren't our rivals. We were more Cardinal rivals, right? It was
Because
just
the
fun to
Brewers
follow.
used
Yeah.
to be in the American League.
Oh, were
And
they really? Oh, I
When
didn't
we
know
yeah,
got
that.
married. When we got married.
they
Ah.
switched.
It
Yeah,
might have turned out this way had
Oh,
been this
yeah.
just
way.
so there would be rivalry in your marriage. That's why they did it. They said, "Oh,
We
Margie
are
and Jeff are getting married."
we are truly a house divided during football season and during baseball season. Yeah.
As you
Hmm.
mentioned, Jeff grew up in Wisconsin, and Margie grew up in the Indiana, Chicagoland area. So then, yeah. So now there's all kinds of rivalry. But now we're getting closer, Jeff. 9-2. You watch out. We're coming back.
I hear you. I
We're
hear
a
you.
comeback team.
You
I don't know
can't.
if our
So
pitching hold
You
up. The
can
guy who's
try.
pitching right now, I've never heard of him before in my life. Savali? I don't know who that is. Okay.
so
Um,
um so the did you see
Mhm.
the video I sent you in Instagram that the guy and how he was predicting who would play
yeah,
who
yeah,
in the
yeah,
World
yeah.
Series? So Jeff reminded me, well, he was already wrong on the American League and who made it to the World Series. I said, oh, but he's not wrong on the National League. Jeff's like, I'm like, I know, because he was wearing a
Uh,
Wrigleyville t-shirt, that doesn't mean anything.
I
yeah.
don't know. Like, I don't know if they have the pitching. I think we have the offense. We just don't have the pitching. You know what I mean? I just think if Steele had stayed healthy and if um, Horton was healthy, I think we would be decent. But
I was even
I don't
worried,
know.
do we have the hitting this year? Because when they were playing the Padres, not a lot of scoring, and a lot of the scoring was happening off home runs. And I think the way I've heard people describe the Brewers this year, they're just a scrappy team, right? They're
Yeah,
somehow
100%.
somehow
Yeah,
they get men on base, somehow they bring those men in, and
yeah.
I mean, they have the best record in baseball this year.
Yeah, they just had that amazing hot streak because they weren't so good at the end of the season. Sorry, Jeff, I don't mean to say anything, but they kind
They
of, I
were
was kind of
not.
like,
They
huh?
were average.
In fact, once they had it locked in, they kind of just coasted.
Yeah, that's what the reason is. I don't think so.
That's
You don't
right.
go into the playoffs losing. Good try,
Well,
though.
I mean,
I mean,
Good try.
I give to you the score.
I know. Would you have predicted this? The first game, would you have
No.
predicted it?
No.
Yeah, me neither. I thought it would have been a much tighter match, but they came pumped. And that's what you need to do for the
Yes.
playoffs. So, but yeah, but baseball's always been magical to me. And I mean, it's always been kind of a fun thing, even though I don't go often to Wrigley Field, because now to me, it's more just a pain in the butt because of parking. Like before there was street parking or there was lot parking that was close. Now it's like everything's, you have to, what's that thing? Can't,
you have to shuttle in,
no, I park.
or
What's that called? Where you just like find Spot Hero is like the one we use here.
oh,
Like you can park at people's lots and everything, but it just ends up being so expensive, and tickets aren't that cheap. So just overall, it becomes like an adventure I in my 50s do not want to undergo at this point.
and it
So
becomes time consuming because it's not just the time to it's the time to get to the game. And and then it's the time of the
right,
game. We recently the three of us, and then Boo Brewer's Boo's husband were in Seattle, and we attended a. She changed her.
You said go
Attended.
Brewers Goose. I said boo Brewers boo.
We attended
I see that
a
now.
Seattle Mariners Texas Rangers game, and
I
it's
think you were
just. But
there.
we were staying downtown. Yeah, I said it was all of us, and we were staying in downtown Seattle. But the light rail to the game made it so easy to just get there. You walk to the game, watch the game. It's a great stadium to see a game in, and then we're easy. It was easy to leave too. So I
Are you
mean
guys
that.
gonna go if they make it to the World Series? If it's a Cub Seattle World Series?
So if it's a Cubs Seattle World Series, I that would be too tempting not to go. I remember growing up as a Cubs fan, you get used to losing. It's a terrible thing
Yeah.
to say, but you do, right? You know, you sort of had the excitement of the Cubs in the 80s. They had the curses they had to overcome. 2016 was the magical, like again, a magical year. They were the best team in baseball, going through the playoffs and the World Series and taking the World Series to Game 7. I really feel like the game in Game 7, the Cubs needed that rain to sort of clear everything
Reset.
out, yeah, before they came back and won. And I just, it's, I mean, I'm glad I was alive to see that, right? I mean,
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think like
um,
the Brewers of this year remind me a lot of the 2016 Cubs. Like they are gonna win any way they can. They have good everywhere. Maybe not great everywhere, but they're good everywhere, and they just make it happen. And they're so excited. Like I'm not a big fan of your
Right?
catcher, but I mean he is so excitable. Do you know what I mean? And that
I'm a
just kind
big
of
fan of
reminds.
my catcher.
Huh,
I'm
what's
a big
that?
fan of my catcher. I'm a big fan of my catcher.
But yeah,
William?
like they kind of like just watching them like the middle since the middle of the season on, they remind me a lot of the because the 2016 Cubs I think had a little bit of a skid too in the middle of the season if I don't remember if
Hmm.
I remember
mhm.
correctly. So I mean it just kind of but then when the playoffs came, they just upped their game and that's what kind of they remind I mean I hate to say that because I know people like Cubs fans are probably hating me right now, but like I really see it a lot in Milwaukee. They want to win. And plus they've looked so bad in like the last 3 4 years in the playoffs, like they just lose right away when they
Oh,
should be winning. I think they have a lot to um,
and
prove,
yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
and
like the Cubs.
and you get the snippets of the sports. Out here, we don't have a lot of good sports on the news and TV. We just don't cover it very well, and they'll talk about
Really?
Dodgers,
Mhm.
Giants, Mariners, Yankees, Red Sox,
Ah,
maybe the Guardians once in a while, but the Brewers never come up in conversation. It's so out of
ah.
people's minds. So
Oh, that's kind of
um,
crazy
yeah, it is very
because
crazy. I
they had
think
the
there's
best
room.
record. I mean, that's crazy.
I think there's room in this world for uh, a really broad look at sports out here, and
What?
we're very provincial.
But that's kind of interesting. How long have you guys been on the West Coast?
Over 30 years.
So that goes to show you how like the Midwest sports, how relevant they are. So Jeff is still
Yeah.
like a Wisconsin fan. Margie's still a Chicago fan, even though they moved. And there are like California's got tons of sports, and you know you have Seattle. You don't really have much in Portland, do you?
I'd be willing to bet.
We've got
Yeah.
basketball, and then soccer is very popular, but not there. Portland is trying to bring a Major League Baseball team here. There's a concerted effort that has some backing. It's been years in the process. I don't know whether they'll be successful or not. I'd love for them to be successful. I would love to go work for that team, in any capacity possible.
The lady that's on the dugout with the big sign.
That's fine. I'm there for that. But it's interesting talking to people who grew up here because they don't have a strong sense baseball wise of an attachment to any one particular team. Some people are Mariners fans. Some people grow up as uh
Bay Area.
Giants fans. And other than that, I think it's some of what you saw. Now you've got the this is hard on my brain to just process what's
There you
going on
go.
behind you.
Giants.
San Francisco, there we go,
Giants.
Giants. But so or it's a little of what we experienced. It's what you saw on TV. So I know a lot of people out here who are um Atlanta fans because you were able to see
Really?
those, yeah, because you were able to see those games on TV. Um and then or there were Cubs fans because, once cable became popular, you were able to get Cubs games on WGN because WGN was carried on cable stations. Or you'd see people who were fans because their dads were fans or their moms were fans. So Boston fans. Trying to think of what else. I think
Or where
that's
they grew
mostly
up,
what you get.
probably,
Right,
right? Or where they grew
right,
up. So kind
right.
of like
Where
you
where
guys.
their parents grew up. But if you're
Yeah.
from here, you don't have a huge attachment to something unless for some reason you really liked a particular player. And I don't see it as much on baseball. I see it more on the football side of things. Like somebody might have loved Joe Montana as a quarterback,
Oh,
and
yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
or somebody loved Tom Brady, and so they became a Patriots fan. He played for the Patriots, right? Sorry, all of a sudden I had a
Well,
brain
and
fart.
in
Yeah,
Tampa Bay, he played for Tampa Bay
right,
too.
right
Yeah.
afterwards. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think most people were Patriots fans because that's where. But yeah, they probably maybe weren't Patriots fans. They were just Tom Brady fans. So we're fans of whatever team he was playing for. Yeah.
Yeah. But
My
we also have a friend that lives out in Florida, and he has season tickets for Chicago. I mean, so it's kind
because
of
he
like
grew up in Chicago.
yeah. So I think it's just
Yeah.
a draw. Like Chicago and the Midwest are just big, big sports cities, I think, and stuff. So
Well, and Chicago is one of those places that has a major league team in all the different sports,
yeah,
and two in
yeah,
baseball.
yeah.
Yeah. My old boss, he's retired now, grew up on the south side of Chicago. And when I first, Dorothy and Jeff know the story, but I'm sharing it for the audience. When I first started working for him, I didn't actually interview with him. I was interviewing for a different job, and they hired me to be his admin. And so my first day of work, I had never met him. He walks in and he says, "You must be Margaret." And I said, "Well, I am, but nobody calls me that." And he said, "Okay, I'll call you Margaret." I'm like, "Okay." And he said, "I only have one question for you. Are you a Cubs fan or a White Sox fan?" And I didn't know what the right answer was. So I answered truthfully. And I said, "I'm a Cubs fan." And he looks at me and says, "We're in trouble from the beginning." And then he just walks off. And I'm like, "Oh, okay, this is going really, really well." But at that time, I didn't know he had grown up on the south side of Chicago. And we worked together for,
And a
over 25
hardcore,
years. He's a
hardcore.
hardcore Sox fan, right?
And he
Um,
became her surrogate father.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And Robert's, Papa, right?
Yeah.
But it was our love of baseball, and then, we worked well together that kept us going together all those years. But he used to talk about the fact that baseball was one of those topics that you could talk to anyone about, regardless of the room you were in, the group of people you were talking to, because it's a sport that transcends every economic level, every what's the word I'm thinking of? Like everyone. It doesn't matter who you are. It's just one of those things that you may not follow it very closely, but you know about it, and it's
Think every little boy at some point wants to be a baseball star. Do you know what I mean? Whether it's when they're in t-ball or older. I mean, we lived it for many, many years. So I don't know. I love baseball. Like I like football. I'm not really that big into basketball and stuff, but I love baseball. As slow as it is, as boring as the game is, I just love it. So many good memories maybe go with it as well. So maybe that's part of it. I don't know. I don't know. But seriously, who do you guys think is going to make it to the World Series?
Um,
Do you think the Brewers have it that's going to make it to the World Series?
they're more likely than not.
Who you
I don't
think the
think they're
Phillies
power.
or
No, I
Dodgers?
think they're. Well, I think it's between them and the Dodgers. I think the Dodgers are going to kick the Phillies. I sure hope so.
You think so, really?
Oh yeah.
really.
Oh
You
yeah.
with Schwarber? I think
Uh,
the Phillies. I want the Phillies to win.
so every
If we can't win, I
time,
want the Phillies to win.
just an example, everyone who is Phillies fans, Schwarber's MVP, he's MVP. It's like every time I saw a home run of his, it wasn't a clutch home run. It wasn't
Uh,
a walk off. It wasn't a go ahead. it was just him smacking the ball, and he's really good at it. You can't take that away from him. But when it comes to uh, people making a difference, like this the catcher for the Mariners, unbelievable. And then
Ted
he has
Boozy.
people rallying because of him and behind him. I think that was their big push at the end of the season is they believed in themselves. So I think it's going to be Dodgers, Mariners,
And
West Coast.
who's
Who
gonna
else?
win? I think Seattle's
Dodgers.
winning it all.
You think
Really?
Mhm, mhm.
far out?
I think
Against
they're
Pretty
two,
gonna
though.
fun.
hmm?
Against two.
I want the Phillies. If the Cubs don't make it, I want the
Uh,
They got Schwarber. I like Bryce Harper. I like Trey Turner. There's that Bohm guy. I just think I like them. I just think
hey,
they're good. I don't like Otani. That's why I don't want the Dodgers to win. I really don't like
what
Otani.
what
I don't know
don't you like about
why.
this?
I don't
Oh,
know. I think I think like Alec and I talked about, I think he was part of like the whole cheating thing. I think this guy, his bookie or whatever
Mm.
took the fall. So I think
oh
he was
that,
the
oh
one.
that, yeah, yeah, that's
I think he was the main guy who did the betting. I don't think, I don't know. Maybe am I gonna get in trouble now? But
no.
I think he was the one that kind of did it all and stuff. So, and then he got away with it because he's, what's his name? Shohei Ohtani. So, I don't know. I don't know.
No,
So,
Alex Cora lost. That was some sort of redeeming for
which
the
team?
Red Sox.
Oh, I don't really
He's
Yeah.
follow
among the
American League. The only reason I like
he's
Seattle is because I was at a Seattle
well,
game. So
he was,
that's
he
like
was
kind of
part
why.
of the Houston Cheatstros that
Oh,
Mm.
the thing
See,
that
I'd like to see Seattle and if the Cubs can't be in it, it's Seattle and the Mariners and no, it's the Seattle
yes.
Mariners and the Milwaukee Brewers play each other, but I'd like to see
ah,
Milwaukee win.
oh,
I mean,
really?
well, sure. I
Really?
mean, if it's not the Cubs, I'll root for the team in the house.
Uh, Yeah, I don't think the Cubs have it to make it far. Like I think they're going to end up getting tired, fatigued, and they don't have pitchers. What are they going to do?
Yeah,
Who are they going to have pitch?
yeah.
The
I mean,
catchers. They're going to have to.
yeah, I think in 2016, I mean, middle of the season, they went out and got some pitchers. They brought who was the guy from the Yankees?
Chapman, he
Chapman.
still plays.
Yeah, for the
He's
Yankees. No, 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 no,
No,
Red
no.
Sox. Red
Red
Yeah,
Sox.
there
Sox.
we
Yeah,
go. That's right.
yeah. I
Yeah.
just don't think. I don't know. I just don't think they have enough. I would love it, but I don't. Realistically, I'm surprised they beat the Padres. So
And it's
I'm
funny because
happy they did, but I'm kind of surprised. So,
while
but
I'm at work, I've got the games like the play-by-play on my phone, so I can just keep checking in. And I in that last game, first of all, I didn't realize if you had home field advantage, it was for all three games. I thought they had a day off and they were
I
traveling to San
know, me
Diego,
too.
so
Yeah.
I thought that was great. But they were winning 2-0, but the Padres were putting people on base, and I thought, you need another run. You need another run. You need another run. And
Mhm.
eventually they scored another run and won 3-0 or 3-1, whatever the score was.
3-1 and
Um,
almost lost it in the ninth. Um, but like did you see like those the little, I don't know if they're TikTok or whatever, the things where like the Padre people were attacking the umps and stuff? Because they're saying they had bad calls
no,
again because the umps had to go to the locker room through the Padres dugout. And so
Uh,
like they were like going after them and stuff. I'm like, what is going on here?
the
They're a bunch
players or
of
the
punks.
fans?
The players. Bunch of
Wow.
punks, yeah. Or like, did you see like I don't like the Padres, like Manny Machado, like a couple times, like he's like all grandstanding, and I'm like, oh, sit down. You know what I mean? Sit down, buddy. You guys haven't made
that's
this
his
in a
whole thing.
series.
That's his whole thing.
I know, but still, like I like the guy Tatis. He's a pretty man. He's got the hair, he's got the swag. But yeah, I didn't like Yu Darvish is there, man. That guy survived a
Mhm.
lot. Holy cow, from the Sox to the Cubs. As you can tell through this podcast, we know our stuff pretty much even though we're girls. I want Aaron Andrews' job. I just want to be like float
Oh,
around, talk about sports everywhere. That would be my ideal job.
Have you thought
it'd be
about
good.
applying for it?
Do I look like Aaron Andrews? No, I don't think they want to talk to me. So she had it. She had looks, she had smarts, and she had ambition. And so
Yeah.
I lost already in the first category. So the second and third aren't going to take me very good. You have to have a
I
look, I think, if you're a woman.
I
sports.
always told Jeff, you got really lucky wife material wise. I
Oh
can
yeah.
talk baseball, I can talk football, I can talk basketball, I can talk boxing,
You know, the funny thing is,
hockey.
our mom couldn't talk any of this crap. Like it's like we're lucky she knows who the Cubs are, probably, or who the Bears were. She was off cooking in the kitchen while we were watching sports with our dad and stuff, right? Because mom
It
didn't know
makes you
anything.
wonder. No, well, I mean, she knew it was baseball and she'd might sit down and watch a couple of batters. I mean, just because we
And
were in
when
the
did
room
you see
watching it.
her watch the match? Like,
I
oh,
mean,
thank
but
God they're out of my hair.
when we're all watching it, yeah. But don't you
Yeah.
wonder what she? Now that makes me think, what did she do all that? I
She
mean,
cooked and baked and prayed probably the
yeah,
rosary.
and cleaned,
She said her
cleaning,
modlitwas. My mom
yeah,
was very religious. Our mom was very religious. Like that was the basis of her existence was religion. Everything wrapped around
and her
religion.
family. I think her family, yeah, more
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
Same
But
thing.
I mean,
Whereas my
I
dad,
mean,
not so much. Sports was probably bigger with my dad.
well, I think he was sort of this great combination of trying to become Americanized without losing your Polish culture, right? Because that was still really important to them, but you tried to engage in everything that was popular. I mean, baseball. How could
Yeah,
you get more American than baseball?
yeah, yeah. Hey, Jeff, do you like Craig Counsell or no?
Touchy subject.
Oh, is it? Is it really?
Well, I mean, when he left from the
I
Brewers to
mean,
come to the
the,
Cubs,
the honest answer is I think he's a really great coach.
You do. Okay.
Uh, and he had the opportunity that he couldn't pass up. So can you fault the guy for that?
Why do you think they didn't win? You don't think it's coaching that made them not win the last like 2, 3 years? And because they had great teams the last, I can look back like what, 2 years? Not counting this year,
Yeah,
2 years prior. They
I
had
don't know. Yeah,
Yelich when he was at his, like, I know he's still young, but like when Yelich was Yelich, I mean, the year he won the MVP and stuff,
yeah.
whatever. I mean, that was a good team. That was a really
I
good
think
team.
I think I think like a lot of teams, the 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 mo the rush or the slump is you can blame the coach for some of that
You
because
can.
they set the mood.
Yeah.
But some of it's way just beyond their thing, and people will get hurt. And I
They're
mean, they had
young.
too many slumps late in the season, so I was really worried. The last 2 weeks of the season, like what are these guys doing?
The only reason
Same
I asked
old,
the
same old.
question is because like they're great this year and it's a different coach. Like, do you think
Yeah.
this team is better than what you had 2 years in the past?
I get the feeling like their farm league was really strong.
Oh,
They pulled up players and they could produce immediately.
so you do
Uh,
think they're a better team this year than they were the previous
I think
years?
they're a better team, a more rounded team. I think they have um, people who can play many positions well, and then and that they have depth in each position.
Oh, good. I was just curious. I don't really know Milwaukee. Like I can see them and stuff, but I'm like, huh. And when I just hear like they're like the Milwaukee fans are brutal to counsel and stuff. And I guess he takes it really to heart because he grew up in
He
Wisconsin
did.
or
oh,
He did.
yeah, like it was like it's a
The
big deal
special
that
kind of
that he's being shunned right now. Like he's like devastated by
yeah,
it.
the special kind of turncoat.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
he's like that's not what it was all about. He wasn't going to like a competing
yeah.
team. It was just like a deal he couldn't pass up. He's still young
Right.
enough, you know. Yeah, so I was kind of like
Yeah.
interesting. I was curious from like a Milwaukee person, like what your
well,
thoughts there.
and don't you? I mean, I don't know whether they think through this or not, but don't you sort of wonder at some point, does he think to himself, um, I'd love the Brewers to do well. For some reason, I'm not the one who's been able to take them to a World
Right,
Series.
right.
Maybe I need a change. Maybe they need a change. I mean, I don't know whether that thought process goes through people's minds, but
No, I think
you
his
know,
was money motivated, don't you think? Money and opportunity to build something.
Sure.
Because the
Sure.
Cubs were supposed to be good last year and they sucked.
Yep. Yep.
So.
Looks like they're second right now.
uh,
I mean,
it's just one game.
that first inning was pathetic. That's why I said I
One
hope
inning.
Milwaukee got all their runs in this inning, and then like we take the next three, and it's the first game's forgotten, right? if the Cubs win the series, that first game's forgotten, right? So I don't know. We'll see. I love baseball. And I love playoff baseball because I think it just brings out a whole different, like, who the players are who are excited
Hmm.
about it and stuff. That's why I
Yep.
think the Cubs
Final
won.
roster.
I don't think Padres showed up to the playoffs. They played regular season. Cubs played playoff season,
Playoff.
playoffs. So, and
Yeah.
that was the difference in that series, I think. So, I don't want the Dodgers or the Yankees to win. I don't know. I just don't like them. I just don't like them.
I've
I'm
never
happy
liked
the
the
Mets
Yankees.
lost. I'm happy the Mets lost because they were just so much money and they weren't that good of a team and they're swagger too. I'm like, so Cubs would be fun because it's a bunch of young players. I think they love the game, but wah today.
Yeah.
Worked
It's
well
not
for the
over. It's
podcast
not
though.
over.
Worked out really well. Are you guys going to go to the IU Oregon game?
No, Robert comes into town
So,
on
can't he go with
Wednesday.
you?
It's not on his bucket list for his trip here. Plus, it's hard to get tickets because I already talked to somebody about the possibility of getting tickets, and I was told, and I'm like, but it's IU. Oregon doesn't know IU, and I was told
I
that
think every game is hard to get tickets.
I think so,
For
but
Oregon?
this one
Yeah.
for Oregon, but I think this one in particular because
Oh yeah, game's
this
done. They put Ben Brown in. It's done.
oh
The Cubs have forgotten about the game already. Now Ben Brown's in. They're like,
let's give
whatever.
everyone a rest.
Yeah. Let it go up. Maybe there's a mercy rule in Major League.
Batting.
It's over. It's over. Okay,
No,
sorry.
but I think with the Oregon game, it's this is the highest, well, other than playing Penn State, this is the highest ranked team that's going to be playing in Eugene.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's
well,
cool.
at least right now, right? Well, yeah, because the Cubs or not the Cubs, the IU doesn't play today. So
Right.
they'll be unless they move in the ranking because of what other teams do, it'll be the highest ranked team to come into Eugene this year.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
tickets
Yep.
are
I
hard.
can't watch
In
college
Illinois.
football. I know some people love it. It seems so like I don't know. I just can't. I
Well,
just can't. Are we boring you, Jeff? Sorry. No,
no,
the
but
game's boring you. I know the baseball game bored you, but um,
and college
I can't
and
watch
college
college. I think it's infantile. Like I think
well,
like
right.
it's
Jeff
silly.
loves it.
And
Do
Jeff
you really?
loves it.
it's
Oh,
no longer amateur sports.
You
That's the
don't
other
think
thing
so?
it's not. They're getting they have
Oh.
NIL.
But some of the plays they have, you're like, holy moly, this is like, I don't know. It's kind of laughable, some of the things you see out there and stuff. Whereas the pros, I think I can watch. I love the NFL too. I have to say
I love
that.
watching the NFL, but college basketball, I'd rather watch college basketball than professional basketball.
Just
To
during
me,
March Madness. I don't want to watch during the
oh,
season.
I'll watch the whole season. Yeah, but also
He got
college
someone
basketball, I
out.
think is
He got someone
fantastic.
out. Ben Brown got someone out.
Maybe
His
they're going to
agents are going to
rally
call us.
behind him.
Strikeout too.
Wow. His
But
agent's going to call us and say,
professional basketball to me is just like the playoffs are kind of fun, but before then it's like, oh look, they're running that way. Oh look, no play,
Well,
but they're all and oh they're back this way. It's just
I just don't. I
I,
don't like. I think that's a lot of grandstanding too. I don't like pro
hate
basketball.
I hate to say
yeah.
it, but with both pro basketball and NFL, the game slows down, but the people who are producing the television can make it look more exciting with lots of changes in camera angle.
Uh,
If you go in person, to me, it's a sleeper. Same with the NFL in person, it's a sleeper. Some of those, the
and it's
TV
cold.
timeouts are so long,
It's really
especially in
cold.
Seattle. Especially in Seattle, it's very very
Oh,
cold.
you don't think Green Bay would be a cold place to watch a football game?
I really don't know.
Chicago, right on the freaking lake.
I
I
have
remember we
no
went to
idea.
one game. We had like warmers in our feet, warmers in our shoe, warmer in our socks, warmers in our shoes, warmers in our gloves. We had like three coats. We're like, let's go home. It was miserable, miserable.
I think the only Chicago Bears games I've seen at Soldier Field, it was preseason. So it was
Okay.
August or September, and I'm in shorts. I'm in a short sleeve shirt. It's really warm and hot.
How many
So
Lambeau Field games have you gone to? Like that's gotta be freaking freezing.
Zero.
You've never
Nope. I've only visited once
been?
with my
Bucket list
fam.
or no? Bucket list or no?
I don't know why. I don't want to be disappointed.
Oh,
Oh, I don't think it'd be disappointing. I
He's
think
just mad Aaron Rodgers is gone. He wanted to see Aaron Rodgers play.
Uh,
what a wackadoodle. So you have gone to see a Seattle Seahawks game,
I've seen a couple of Seattle Seahawks
and you
games.
thought that
Oh, is
in
that a nice
person.
stadium? Is that a nice
Yes,
stadium?
it's very
Oh,
nice. I really
Mhm.
like it. Same
Yeah,
area where the base. It's right across the.
it's
Uh,
right next to T-Mobile Park where the
right,
baseball
right.
field
But is
is,
the
right?
stadium nice, like the inside of the stadium?
yes, yeah,
Because
it's very
I
nice.
was surprised at the
Good view.
Mariners game it wasn't packed because that's a beautiful stadium.
I
Yep.
Did they win?
and they're doing so well. I
Yeah,
don't get it. See, part
yeah,
of me worries that they're trying to bring Major League Baseball to Portland, and I love that idea, but I love baseball. And
yeah.
on top of that, I would think, oh my God, the opportunity to have the Cubs play in Portland would be fantastic.
I
The
think.
West Coast, to a certain degree, not as into baseball. I don't
See,
know.
I
California
think,
is though. California
Mm,
is.
yeah, I think what would be great if we had a Portland team is then we get to see the Mariners on TV,
Oh,
right? Because you have to have
well, but you
root
would see a
sports.
variety. You would be able to see the Cubs, right?
Yeah,
Because you play
right.
every team at least once now in the
Yep.
season. So you would see the Cubs at least once. So that would be
mhm.
kind of fun.
It'd be
Yeah.
great. I would
Yeah.
love it. And I'd love to go work
We'll
for them
see.
again to do anything.